Today I'm very pleased to have with us not only a colleague but also a friend. This individual I've known for a few years now, and we go back and forth a lot talking football. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm a Philadelphia Eagle fan, so they're in the same division, so we have fun with that. But he's a 2004 graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy. He majored in marine transportation. Upon graduation, he opted to serve this country, working in the maritime industry, where he sailed aboard the Staten Island Ferry. And in addition to that, he also was a naval reservist. Currently, most recently, he activated to the United States Marine Corps by choice, and he's currently in law school at Tulane University. Football star from the Merchant Marine Academy, and currently living here in your beautiful city of New Orleans, Lieutenant David McNeal.
Morning. Every morning in Africa, gazelle wakes up. That gazelle knows it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it's going to be killed. Every morning a lion wakes up. That lion knows it's going to have to outrun the slowest gazelle, or it's going to starve to death. To the future of America, it doesn't matter whether you're a lion or you're a gazelle. When you wake up in the morning, you'd best be running. Good morning, my name is David McNeal. As Lieutenant Tom Brosnan said, I'm former Lieutenant of the United States Naval Reserves, current Lieutenant of the United States Marine Corps, a Juris Doctor candidate at Tulane Law School Class 2011, and a graduate of the United States Merchant Marine Academy Class 2004. I'd like to first congratulate you all on taking the first step to success by being involved in your respective ROTC programs. At the same time, I'd also like to remind you that it's just that. It's the first step. To continue your journey on the path to success, whether through a Federal Service Academy, through an ROTC program, or unaffiliated with the military at all. The road is hard, it's long. It is the road that's less traveled. But it is this road, full of obstructions as it may be, that is the one that will ultimately lead you to a rewarding life of success founded in service to our great country. No one, and I mean no one, is going to give you anything. You're going to have to scratch, you're going to have to claw, you're going to have to fight to earn your seat at the table of prosperity. I did go to the United States Merchant Marine Academy, also known as Kings Point. It's been given the nickname the stepchild of the other service academies. It's also been known as the best kept secret. Well, I've come to tell you the story of how I came to the United States Merchant Marine Academy and the joys, successes, trials, and tribulations that I went through when I was there. I'd also like to tell you the opportunities that I have because I have earned the title Kings Point. But aside from that, I believe that my greatest cause for being here is not to represent the Marine Corps, although I am a Marine and I do represent that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Not necessarily to represent the United States Merchant Marine Academy, although I am biased since I went there and I do believe it is the best service academy. But I'm here to represent something greater. I'm here to represent life. Because no matter what uniform you wear or don't wear, no matter where you go to school, no matter what you've been through, no matter what your age is, life affects everybody in this room. My story begins at John Marshall High School in San Antonio, Texas, where I'm from. I came over to San Antonio when I was 12 years old. My dad was an enlisted member of the Air Force. And when we moved to Texas, I was instantly taken by the Texas high school football and the Friday night lights. I came into my sophomore year at high school, and spring training was coming around. It was finally my opportunity to get to show the coaches that I deserved to be on that varsity team. I deserved to go out underneath those Friday night lights and play football, a game which I love. Well, I did indeed impress them for the first 2 days. Then on the third day, I hurt my shoulder. So for the rest of that spring training, I was basically spent on the sideline, rehabilitating my shoulder and doing all that I could. Well, as it worked out, I didn't make the varsity team that year. I had to play on the JV. So it was my classmates who got to break through the paper and run out in front of the roars of the cheering crowd minutes before the game. It was my classmates who got to stand with their varsity jerseys in front of the school while the pep rally went on the day of the game. Well, the next year came around and it was time for spring training again. This time would be the last one of my high school career. Well, the coach came in and sat us down one day and he said that he would no longer be the coach at John Marshall High School. So once again, things were changing that were out of my control. There was nothing I could do about that. At that point, I had been receiving some letters from some large college football programs who were talking about possibly giving me a scholarship. But that all went out the window the next year when our team went 1-8. We only won one football game, and we didn't even score a point until the 7th game of the season. Things were so bad, as a matter of fact, that we received attention on Jay Leno for being the only team in the country from Pop Warner on up to the NFL who hadn't scored a point yet. As you can tell, as a running back, this person is supposed to score points. That doesn't really look good in the arena of trying to gain a scholarship. So after graduation from high school, I attended a local community college and I was involved in the ROTC program. And for some reason, I just felt like my gut feeling was that I didn't belong there. I was just floating along. It was reflected in my poor academic performance. I found myself lifting weights and doing sprints to the point where my own father said, "Why are you working out like the college athlete you are not, instead of studying like the college student which you are?" I really had no logical answer for him. All I knew was that deep down, there was something else for me. I really didn't have an answer. In my first year of college, I applied to the United States Air Force Academy and was denied because my scores weren't good enough. I applied again in the second year. That second year, I was able to sit in front of a panel of all retired officers who went to the service academy. And when I sat there and I talked to them, they asked me questions which I answered. They told me that although I sounded like a good candidate for admission, that my grades just didn't make the mark. I would not be receiving a recommendation for admission. I'll never forget when that man looked me dead in the eye and he said, "Sorry, son, you're just not good enough." Dejected and walking out of the room, a man touched me on the arm and said, "Have you ever heard of the United States Virtual Marine Academy at Kings Point?" I said, "No." "Do they have a football team?" Well, although I didn't realize it then, that moment changed the trajectory of my life, launching me into a distinguished future. I was given the opportunity to attend the academy, to keep pace with the three-tier program they had there: academics, regiment, and athletics. I wanted to not only attend Kings Point, but I wanted to excel. I wanted to prove to everyone who gave me the opportunity to be there that I did belong to be there. That first year, I was doing my best to adapt to the intense load of the academic courses. Things were made even more difficult when I received the news my grandmother had passed away. My motivation dwindled right along with my GPA. I was placed on academic probation. The first 6 months of the academy went by before I was even able to go home. When I went home and I came back, I realized something. That on the road to success, obstacles are bound to fall on my path. No longer would I allow those obstacles to impede my progress. By the end of the year, I had raised my GPA over 40% and was released from academic probation. See, the one difference between successful people and those who wallow in mediocrity are that successful people do not allow obstacles to impede their progress. In the Marine Corps, when we meet an obstacle, we immediately do three things. We improvise, adapt, and we overcome. That's what you're going to have to do if you want to be successful. You're going to have to improvise, adapt, and overcome when you meet those obstacles that are bound to fall on your path.